all Renegades of Puck to the trenches. Welcome to Renegades of Puck TV. Welcome to the essence of no half-stepping. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier, and I come to you today from the bunker with breaking news. Incredibly excited and proud to announce to you that the Sobros Network has announced its nominees for the Sobros 2021 Spirit of Nashville Awards, and the Renegades of Puck are listed as a finalist for the Sports Podcast of the Year in the Nashville area. It would mean a lot to us if you would go to the article, click on the link that takes you to the ballot box, and vote for the Renegades of Puck as often as possible. It is tremendous that we have even been nominated for something like this after just 7 weeks in the bunker here in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. We are so incredibly proud to be included in this. We thank everyone over at the Sobros Network, and we encourage all of you to go to the SobrosNetwork.com and check out everything that they're doing over there. A lot of stick taps, love, and respect for including us on this list. After all, we are just getting started. We look forward to being on this list for many years to come. So we sure to appreciate finding out just this afternoon that we are nominated for the Sobro Network's 2021 Spirit of Nashville Awards, and we look forward to each and every one of you Renegades of Puck voting for us. It is important that you let them know how important it is to include us on this list. We feel very blessed and very excited. SobrosNetwork.com. I'll put all the information up there on the screen. You'll have to scroll down a little bit through the article, but I was so excited to get this information, to get this breaking news this afternoon, and I am so incredibly excited to see where the Renegades of Puck are moving forward. Remember, renegadesofpuck.com is the easiest way you can find out more information about the Renegades of Puck and Renegades of Puck TV. While you're there, check out our merchandise page. Plenty of time to get yourself a gift for the holidays. You can check out our classic logo t-shirt, or you can check out our brand new Pride logo t-shirt. We also have our logo on everything. We've sold out so that you can buy in here at Renegades of Puck. So renegadesofpuck.com is the easiest way that you'll find out everything you need to know about the Renegades of Puck. Social media, YouTube, very important. Over 100 subscriptions now, and that's great for the first 7 weeks, but we need to keep pushing that number, and we need to keep adding Renegades one by one. No doubt the news that came out today is going to help us add more Renegades, but that doesn't mean we can slow down on the recruiting process. One Renegade at a time. We'll dig the trenches 1 inch by 1 inch until we get to where we need to go, which is everywhere. So you can do that through YouTube, and that's how you can find this show. Also, we would love it if you would give us a like on Facebook. Again, we're doing a good job of building up the Facebook page and building up a small Facebook community, but we need so much more support and so much more help. We are a ground level operation here, so any support you can give us sure does help. Twitter, give us a follow at Renegades of Puck. That is the easiest thing to do. And then follow along and spread the links and give us retweets and quote tweets and all of those things. We sure would appreciate it. It means the world to us here at the Renegades of Puck. And our behind-the-scenes live stream on Twitch. Just go to Twitch and search out Renegades of Puck. We're streaming live right now. As a matter of fact, I've had a catastrophic meltdown in the bunker this afternoon. I've dropped dozens of F-bombs. I've punched myself square in the mouth. You'll just have to go to the Twitch stream if you want to see any of that, though, because on YouTube, it is the fully produced versions of Renegades of Puck TV. If you want the more raw, live feel, go to Twitch and search out Renegades of Puck. That is where we broadcast each and every show live. You get the info there first. You've seen the studio there first. And from time to time, you get to see me punch one of my own teeth out of my own head. So I'd appreciate every one of you for following us on all those social media platforms. And I have to thank Venmo. Thank you so much. We have received some incredible donations over the last couple of weeks, and it is really giving us a lot to think about and to be so appreciative for, and to send so many stick taps, love, and respect. So I know that one particular viewer out there who has donated to us so generously. I know that you're watching, and I just wanted to say, I know you don't want to be publicly known or anything like that, but I know that you're watching. So everybody, please give me a second. Thank you. It legitimately means the world to Charlie Saunier to have you supporting us in that way. Thank you. It means a lot. If you would like to join, if you would like to get involved, hey, if you want me to say your name right here on the show, send me a couple of bucks, give me your name, and I'll go ahead and tell you and thank you for the donation right here on the air. We sure do appreciate it. Scan the QR code or just go to Venmo and search Renegades of Puck, and you will find us. Now listen, you're here for the No Half Step in hockey coverage, so let's get right into it. We sure do appreciate having some breaking news and some great news to bring you this afternoon, but we've got a whole lot to get back and talk about. We've got to recap the game that happened between the Nashville Perks and Columbus Blue Jackets, and we've got to set up and preview what's what's going to happen between the Nashville Predators and the Boston Bruins. MOSTRODAMUS will be coming up shortly. Sean C. Smith, Bryan, Bastin, all in the trenches here on Renegades of Puck TV. But first, I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier, and I'm going to get you started right here. So let's get with it. Third place in the Central Division, the Nashville Predators, after 22 games played, hold a record of 12-9-1. They have 25 points. That has them 6 points behind the first place Minnesota Wild. That has them 2 points behind the second place St. Louis Blues, by the way. The Nashville Predators have defeated both of the teams ahead of them in the standings in the early portions of the season for whatever that is worth. So the Preds sitting at third place at 25 points, and then there's a bit of a logjam, 24, 24, 23, and that is Dallas, Winnipeg, and Colorado in the basement, of course, being held up by Chicago and Arizona all the way there at the bottom. Arizona only with 12 points on the season right now. The Nashville Predators continue a homestand now, so far, 2 points in one game. That is excellent news with a win over the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Nashville Predators on home ice are 7-4-0, and because of the goal differential in the previous game, they now have a positive goal differential on the season, 64-63. The Nashville Predators' next opponent is the first of two regular season meetings between the Nashville Predators and the Boston Bruins. Now, the Nashville Predators had some difficulties against the Bruins in the past, so this will be the first time and the only time that the Boston Bruins come here to Nashville. The Nashville Predators will head out to Boston on the 15th of January in the year 2022. Sounds like science fiction numbers, but it's actually only about 3.5 weeks away now. So the Nashville Predators will take on Boston again January the 15th. Now, listen, once the Preds wrap up with Boston, they will host Montreal. It will be the first time this season that the Nashville Predators have played the same opponent for a second time. Just a weird scheduling quirk right there. Then Tuesday, off to Detroit. Then on the 9th, off to the Islanders to see their brand new rink. And then the next game will be in New Jersey against the Devils. Then the Preds will wrap up the road trip against the New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden. When it comes to the next opponent for the Nashville Predators, the Boston Bruins have a record of 11-8. That has them fifth in the Atlantic Division over in the Eastern Conference. A road record of an even 500, 4-4. They have scored 57 goals for and have a goal differential that is +4 in their most recent action. They've been a bit up and down as of late. On the 21st of November, it was a 4-0 loss versus the Calgary Flames. Then they followed it up on the 24th with a 5-1 win at the Buffalo Sabres. Then it was a 5-2 loss versus the New York Rangers, a 3-2 win versus Vancouver, and a most recent game took place on the 30th. It was a 2-1 loss versus Detroit. Linus Ullmark got the start, took the loss in net, only 14 out of 16. And the Boston Bruins next will face off against the Tampa Bay Lightning on Saturday in Boston. So for the Bruins, a one-game road trip to Nashville. Taking a look inside the numbers between these two teams and how they compare, the Boston Bruins are right in the middle of the pack in almost everything. Goals for and goals against, they're at 15th. But shots for, this is where the Boston Bruins separate from the Nashville Predators. They are first in the league with shots on goal at 36.8, while the Preds are 28.8. That is 27th in the NHL. So these two teams are almost as far apart as you can be in statistical metrics in the shots for category. The Preds goal for and goals against, 19th and 16th. Of course, that compares to the 15th best in both categories for Boston. Power play. Both power plays for these teams are surprisingly good. The power play for the Boston Bruins is fifth best in the NHL, converting 15 out of 58 times, 25.9%. But the Nashville Predators just one spot behind them, converting at 25%. They're sixth best in the league and converting 16 times out of 64 opportunities. On the penalty kill, a little bit of a difference. The Bruins have the 11th best penalty kill and have only given up 9 power play goals on the season, while the Nashville Predators have given up 15 power play goals against and are 24th overall in the NHL. Taking a look inside the news, notes, and stats between these two teams, this is absolutely good news for the Nashville Predators. Brad Marchand, not only the leading scorer for the Boston Bruins, 9 goals and 15 assists on the season for 24 points, but also one gigantic pain in the ass every single time he plays against the Nashville Predators and, frankly, every other team. Well, he is currently suspended for slew footing. They finally called him out for one of the many egregious slew foots that this player decides to utilize as part of his daily game. So I am very happy that the Nashville Predators will not be facing Brad Marchand at Bridgestone Arena. Yes, this gives the Nashville Predators a better opportunity to win with the Boston Bruins top scorer and top agitator being out of the lineup. Other statistics for the Boston Bruins: Pastrnak, 8 goals and 11 assists is 19 points. Bergeron's at 8 goals and 10 assists for 18 points. And McAvoy, who is rumored to possibly be on the trading block, is at 3 goals and 11 assists for 14 points. Craig Smith, also for the Bruins, will be visiting Nashville and heading back to the place where he played so many of the games throughout his career. When it comes to news and notes for the Nashville Predators, Mikael Granlund, what an incredible free agent signing. Yes, I know I advocated for him being traded multiple times, but but once they re-signed him, I'm fully on board with that under John Hines. He has blossomed into an incredible hockey player. The vision he is putting on display and the passing that he is utilizing right now is otherworldly. I used to call it the Ryan Johansson world-class distribution service when he got to 50 assists. Well, Mikael Granlund may be taking over as the new CEO of that company. His 20 assists right now is tied for second best in the NHL. Add his 5 goals, that's 25 points. That is good for 8th best in the National Hockey League. 3 players getting to 20 points as quickly as they did for the Nashville Predators. First time that's ever happened in franchise history. The other 2, Matt Duchene, 13 goals and 11 assists. That's 24 points. And, of course, Roman Josi at 7 goals and 13 assists. That's 20 points. Ryan Johansson is at 6 goals and 12 points for 18. And Philip Forsberg closes the gap quickly last night. Now at 10 goals on the season, 5 assists. That's good for 15 points. In net, we're going to see UC Saros at Bridgestone Arena. 10-7-1 on the season, a 9.22 save percentage, and a 2.35 goals against average over in net for the Boston Bruins. Linus Ullmark got the last start. He's got a 5-4 record on the season, a 9.11 save percentage, 2.68 on the goals against average. But Jeremy Swayman at 6-4, a 9.08 save percentage, and a 2.42 goals against average. So we'll just have to wait and find out what the goaltending matchup is. MOSTRODAMUS will have some news and notes on that coming up here shortly. Now it's time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Remember, Rebirth Sports are your hockey tailors. You can find out more by going to rebirthsports.com or searching Rebirth Sports on Facebook and Twitter. Not just this jersey, not just all the jerseys you've seen me wear over the years for the Mighty Drunks and in tournaments, but they make incredible hockey gear. They can outfit your entire operation, and Rebirth Sports is an incredible partner. We are so lucky to be in the trenches with a company like that. Got a lot of great things coming up very soon. So make sure you let Rebirth Sports know how much you appreciate them. Now, for the recap, you give me 10 minutes, I'll give you the game. You give the Renegades of Puck an additional 10 minutes. We'll give you all the stats, analysis, and opinion that you need to get you caught up for everything that's happening with the Nashville Predators. Let's get on into the recap. It was 11:30 of the year 2021, and the Nashville Predators were taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets at Bridgestone Arena. Your line combinations to start the game are as follows: Tolvanen, Johansson, and Cunnin, Forsberg, Granlund, and Duchene, Trennan, Sissons, and Janot, Cousins, Novak, and Tomasino, Josi and Fabro, Ekholm and Carey, Borowiecki and Benning make up your D pairs, and UC Saros gets the start net. Just 11 seconds in, and UC Saros has to come up with a huge save on Corley, plus the rebound jam opportunity. Quick 2 stops for the starting goaltender of the Nashville Predators. 1:25 of the first period. Ekholm's got a long shot, has to be stopped by Elvis Merzlikins. First shot on goal by the Nashville Predators. Both teams on the board with a shot. Now at 4:56 of the first period, Philip Forsberg's got a 7th goal of the season. He continues his red-hot streak. He simply walks in and snipes the top corner from the bottom of the low circle. Perfect feed, of course, by Mikael Granlund. Nashville Predators on Philip Forsberg's 7th goal of the season, leading 1-0 at Bridgestone Arena. At 6:57, Forsberg already back at it, this time hitting the post at 8:21. Merzlikins robs Cousins on the doorstep after Tommy Novak's perfect feed to the top of the slot. 9:55 into the first period. Chinakhov goes off the box 2 minutes for tripping. The Jackets remain disciplined on the PK, preventing the Nashville Predators from converting. But shortly after the power play ends at 12:43, it's Yakov Trenin with his 3rd goal of the season. Ekholm springs the 2-on-1 with the perfect long pass. Sissons puts the sauce over to Trennan, who finishes off the conversion, giving the Nashville Predators a 2-goal lead on home ice. Philip Forsberg would follow up almost immediately off the next faceoff with his 2nd goal of the period, his 8th goal of the season. It was Granlund winning the battle on the forecheck and setting up Forsberg perfectly. Mikael Granlund, yet again, 2nd primary assist to go with Forsberg's 2nd goal of the game. Preds now lead 3-0, and Elvis Merzlikins is out of this game, and Jonas Korpisalo is in net now for the Columbus Blue Jackets. 15:43. UC Saros has to come up with a big, huge save after a defensive zone turnover at 18:27. Tolvanen gets a shot off the rush and stopped by Korpisalo. I have a feeling if Merzlikins was still in this one, would have went right to the back of the net. We hit the end of the first period. The Nashville Predators have a 3-goal lead and are out shooting the Columbus Blue Jackets 14-9. 2:19 of the second period. Duchene gets a rebound opportunity after Benning's shot gets stopped. 5:55. Saros puts on a goaltending exhibition. 3 saves from 3 angles as if he was doing a drill, but this was during live NHL competition with live NHL skilled players. Incredible to see. I cannot wait for MOSTRODAMUS to break this sequence down for me. At 8:38, Carey off the box, 2 minutes for high sticking. UC Saros comes up with a big save on Werenski, but Roslovic puts a puck in the net. It was a sharp angle snipe top corner as the power play expired. but it would be challenged by John Hines for offsides. And of course, for those of you who have forgotten the caveat, if you challenge for offsides now and you are incorrect, it is a 2-minute minor for delay of game. So John Hines taking a huge risk in what is at this exact moment a 3-1 hockey game. After the review, it is in fact determined that the play was offside. The goal is taken off the board, and the Nashville Predators continue to have a 3-0 lead. Stick tap to that video review team. They are simply incredible. They have done a great job over the last couple of years. 13:53, back to the action, and Benning has a block shot with his face. He goes off for repairs. Looked ugly, but he was fine. 15:26, Forsberg finishes off the hat trick. He's got 9 goals on the season. Granlund, backhand pass across the top of the slot. One of the prettiest primary assists you're going to see. And I could say that a lot about Mikael Granlund's passing ability this season, but this one, simply otherworldly and unbelievable. The Nashville Predators have a 4-0 lead on home ice at 18:18. Boquist off to the box, 2 minutes for tripping. Forsberg's got his 10th goal of the season now. His 4th goal of the game. That's right, Forsberg. I get it now. That's actually Chris Mason's joke, and I love Chris Mason, so I actually did chuckle when he tweeted that. Granlund's pass from high to the top of the crease for the jam by Philip Forsberg. That means Forsberg has 4 goals and Mikael Granlund has 4 primary assists. I think these two have some chemistry together, and Matt Duchene also is helping along quite a bit with that. The Nashville Predators now up 5-0 at the end of the second period, out shooting Columbus 28-23. 40 seconds into the third period, we see a large scrum that leads to Jeannot and Bayreuther. Jeannot has really been itching for a fight now all season long. It didn't go on for very long, but Jeannot did get an opportunity to get a little bit of that off of his chest. At 7:15, Cousins has his 2nd goal of the season, giving the Preds a 6-0 lead. It was a backhand from the circle after looking off the pass. What I mean is he looked to pass, but then took the shot. The goaltender did not catch that movement, and this puck goes into the net easily. At 8:47, Borowiecki crushes Corrali in the neutral zone. Then he gets jumped, earning the Nashville Predators a power play. It was a large scrum. There were a lot of people involved, but nothing really came out of it. The Preds continue pushing, continue generating some offense, but are unable to convert on this power play. 11:03, UC Saros is still in this game, and he's coming up with a save on Sillinger. Now, if that name Sillinger sounds familiar, no, it is not Mike Sillinger playing for his 30th team at the age of 50-something. It is, in fact, Mike Sillinger's kid. For those of us who have been covering this team for so many years, that's a moment where you suddenly start to feel just a little bit older. Sillinger. Benning gets off the box, 2 minutes for holding at 18-19. We head to the end of this game, and the Nashville Predators win 6-0, out shooting Columbus 37-27. For the Nashville Predators, it was their old Central Division rival from back in the expansion days that always seemed to help get the Preds right. Well, the Columbus Blue Jackets have done the Predators an incredible favor, coming into Bridgestone Arena and getting blown out, and now helping the Nashville Predators get back on track. This team has been Jekyll and Hyde as of late. You don't know what exactly you're going to get. One night they forget how to play offense. The other night they forget how to play defense. And on a third night they forget how to play hockey overall. But then there are other games, like in Minnesota, like in St. Louis, like in Calgary, where the Preds put it all together. So they have the ability to beat good teams. The Columbus Blue Jackets, middle of the pack team, not a good team, but they do have some good offensive parts. Last night, though, nothing was working for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Nashville Predators, that's an incredible win. Taking a day off, John Hines played the right call right there, giving the team a day off to get a mental break after the first 21 games of the season. That was a great call by John Hines. He should probably utilize that strategy more often if the team is going to come out that rested and firing on that many cylinders. The Nashville Predators simply looked incredible in this game. They were playing attack hockey from the start of the game until they were up 6-0, and they didn't let off really at the end. And I hope that they continue doing that against the Boston Bruins, because unless you can play that style of hockey, you are going to get run over by the Boston Bruins. Now listen, I need to hear from MOSTRODAMUS. He's the starting goaltender of Renegades of Puck. He's been with me for so many hundreds of shows now. And when I saw UC Saros put on that goaltending exhibition, though he wasn't needed so many more times in this game, he did have a heavy workload in the second period. He made some big saves right off the opening faceoff, and he was in it from start to finish. 27 out of 27 in this game. He does get the shutout, and that is great news for UC Saros. That helps his numbers all in every way, shape, and form. MOSTRODAMUS is going to tell me about everything that he saw between the pipes between the Nashville Preds and the Columbus Blue Jackets. You can find him on Twitter at GreekGoalie35, or you can watch him right here on Renegades of Puck TV. Mosh, tell me all about it.
The death taxes and the Nashville Predators winning home games versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. You can bank on that. Another win for the Nashville Predators at home, 6-0 this time. Just a magnificent performance overall for 60 minutes. We've been begging for it most of the season to see this team really come through with a full 60-minute performance. We see them. We have good periods here and there. We have good stretches here and there and good individual performances, but not as a team. This was a complete team domination of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Alex Merzlikins did what he could. Stopped 6 out of 9, so that stat line obviously looks atrocious for him, but the Forsberg goal is just simply a ridiculous snipe by him. Really not much room there, and he gets it by his ear hole underneath the crossbar on the near side there. So just a ridiculous shot by Forsberg. And he made a couple of really nice saves in between that goal and the Trennan goal to keep his team within one goal for a while. You kind of were thinking Columbus was getting their chances as well and weren't scoring. You think it was only a matter of time before they tie the game. And then the Trennan goal happened, then seconds later Forsberg, and that was the end of the night for Merzlikins. Korpisalo came in. He did what he could. He didn't really have any support. The Columbus Blue Jackets have a very young D core. Yes, they're 12-7 on the season, but they're depending on a variety of ways to win games, mostly outscoring the other team. This is a team that came into this game scoring 3 or more goals in 11 out of their last 12 games. So a shutout by UC Saros is no laughing matter. This is a big deal for a team that scores quite a bit of goals. So Korpisalo again, not getting any support. UC Saros, as I mentioned, 27 saves. Couple saves very early on, within seconds of the opening puck drop. He comes up in a huge way to keep it 0-0. And Columbus Blue Jackets did have numerous high-quality chances. They had some flurries in front of the net where you just see Saros, and Mason mentioned it on the broadcast. He just connects the dots so well. His lateral movement and his puck tracking is second to none in this league. I'll put him up against anybody else. The way he moves on the ice and the way he tracks that puck, he doesn't make some of those saves without having that insane ability to do that. So kudos to him. Next up for the Nashville Predators, Bastin minus Brad Marchand, of course, with the suspension. They're going to face either Swayman or Linus Ullmark. Swayman, tough shoes to fill, filling Tuukka Rask's spot. Rask out with hip surgery, of course. Swayman only 23 years old, 6-4 on the season early on. It's been 50-50 between Swayman and Ullmark. Ullmark got the start in Vancouver, made 36 out of 38 saves on Sunday, came up with only 14 of 16 Tuesday night against the Detroit Red Wings, and this is a game where Boston outshot Detroit 42-16 and ended up on the losing end with no points to show for it. So look for Swayman to enter right back in. Again, 50-50 split, kind of riding the hot hand up in Boston. So look for Jeremy Swayman to come back in as a 23-year-old against UC Saros on Thursday night, coming off the shutout. Boston, Nashville, no Brad Marchand, thankfully, no injuries after this drubbing of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Preds go in pretty healthy and look for another victory at home. They're playing pretty well overall on home ice, sans the game against Vegas. So Nashville, Boston, Thursday night, be there. Charlie, back to you.
You can find him on Twitter at GreekGoalie35. You can watch him right here on Renegades of Puck TV. He's always up for the interaction. He is, of course, MOSTRODAMUS, a man so far ahead in the future, he knows exactly what's going to happen next. Let me get into the box score and give you some numbers. This box score and these numbers and analytics are presented by Stripe Digital Solutions. StripeDigitalSolutions.com. Not only has Stripe Digital Solutions helped me in the creation of this logo and helped me in the creation of RenegadesOfPuck.com and is helping maintain RenegadesOfPuck.com, but it is also helping me with my marketing strategy and my plan to get the show in front of as many Renegades of Puck as possible. No one can do it alone. No one can take on the algorithm without help, and that is where Stripe Digital Solutions comes in. Stripe Digital Solutions has already helped put me in so many places that I never would have made it to before. They can help you with a great digital marketing plan as well. Reach out to Stripe Digital Solutions. You can find them on Facebook and Instagram, or you can just go to StripeDigitalSolutions.com. Let me give you a little bit of numbers, and then I'm going to kick it over to a couple other friends of mine. Nick Cousins with a goal in this game, and also Yakov Trenin with a goal in this game. But Philip Forsberg clearly dominates the night with 4 goals. Now, The rest of his mates also contributed significantly with assists. Matt Duchene had 2 assists. Mikhail Granlund had 4 assists. Then outside of that line, Jeannot, Johansson, Novak, Sissons, Tomasino, all picking up assists in this game. Highly unusual for the Nashville Predators to score so many goals and not have a single point for any of the defensemen. Blocked shots for the Nashville Predators. Dante Fabro led the team with 4 hits. Tanner Jeannot led the team with 4 in time on ice. No, it was not Mikhail Granlund. It was not Philip Forsberg, as you would typically expect in a night like this, a game like this, especially when those players put up such big offensive numbers. It was, in fact, Eeli Tolvanen getting the most time on ice out of the forward grouping at 17:38. And let me tell you why I think that happened. Because he is just about ready to break out. He's doing so many things out there on the ice good, and he had some great scoring chances last night. And I felt John Hynes was just giving him opportunities to work his way through whatever offensive slump that he's been in. I truly think Eeli Tolvanen is about to take off here very shortly. So that was good job by the coaching staff in a 6-0 game to give him more minutes, more ice time, get him out there with more players, and give him an opportunity. Had 3:57 of power play time on ice as well. On the defensive side of things, it was Alex Carey leading the team in total time on ice at 22:44. So no Roman Josi, no Mikhail Granlund when it comes to ice time leaders. I've got a couple of other Renegades of Puck that I want to talk to. I need to talk to Sean C. Smith. I need to know everything that happened at Bridgestone Arena last night. It was a 6-0 victory for the Nashville Predators. Of course, the story of the night is Forsberg and Granlund and Duchene and the Nashville Predators offense, but also UC Sobros and the shutout. Sean C. Smith from ontheforecheck.com not only had a chance to talk to Philip Forsberg after the game, but had a chance to talk to head coach John Hynes as well. Here is Sean's summary and his thoughts.
Thanks, Charlie. Hey, Renegades, Sean C. Smith back after a pretty intense night at Bridgestone Arena. And I just have to say, earlier before this game in practice, the team worked heavily on play in the neutral zone. They worked on transitions. And let me say, that was something that I felt, and I've mentioned this on a couple of podcasts, that would have really benefited the team in their games against Colorado as well as the Golden Knights. But it looked like early on everything they did to make that happen clicked very well. You saw the team apply heavy pressure and clog up the neutral zone, making it a lot harder for Columbus to get out of the defensive zone and into their offensive zone. That also produced a lot of really quick turnovers that even led to that great 2-on-1 with Colton Sissons connecting with Yakov Trenin for a goal. Now, of course, the big story of the night is not that, but the insane performance by Philip Forsberg and Mikhail Granlund and UC Saros, but I know everybody else is talking about that. So the other thing I want to say, Renegades, is let's follow up on this. On the last episode of Renegades of Puck TV, I talked to you about mental state, and I explained how I felt like even though the result wasn't exactly what the Predators would have liked against Colorado, it didn't look like they gave up the fight. Now, after practice today, John Hynes said he really appreciated the fight that Matthias Ekholm had in him that late in the game, especially with the score not going very well for the team. And I think he was well aware as a coach that the team needed a little bit more time off than they'd had recently. So what it kind of came down to, and he explained this after the game tonight, was that the team got back in Sunday very, very early in the morning, around 3:30. They let them have that day off, and knowing that they'd been through a rough, group of games over the past few weeks, they went ahead and gave them Monday off as well. Now, what John Hynes said was, it kind of works two ways. One, the guys get the rest, but also everyone's aware that they've had 2 days of rest, so you expect them to put on a big performance when they actually go back and play on Tuesday, and that's exactly what you saw happen. Hynes likes where the team's head is at, and that's the biggest thing you need to know going into this next stretch of games at home, is that if the team can continue playing with this state of mind and this mental state where they are ready to go out there every night and give their all and play for each other, then this is the kind of result we should be able to expect moving forward. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to win every game. It just means that when they have a great game like they did against the Columbus Blue Jackets, that, yeah, they're excited, but they're not going to get too high on it. At the same time, when you have a bad game like they did against the Colorado Avalanche, they're not going to get too low. And that's what you want out of this team. Yes, it's great when they win, but you can't let it go to your head. And it's bad when they lose, but you can't let it go to your head. You've got to stay even. You've got to stay focused. So that's what I have to talk about tonight, Renegades. I'm sure you're all too busy celebrating a 4-goal game with Philip Forsberg, 4 assists by Mikael Granlund, and of course, a shutout by UC Sobros. So I'm going to throw it back to you, Charlie. Can't wait for the next game, Renegades.
You can find him on Twitter at SCSOTF. And if you're not tired of seeing his face and hearing his analysis already, you can check him out right here on Renegades of Puck TV. No, I kid. Stick taps, love, and respect to Sean C. Smith. He is appearing on literally every show in town right now because his stock is that high. And I appreciate him making the time to jump in the trenches right here with the Renegades of Puck. Listen, I gave you some numbers, but my numbers, they're simply not as good as this next guy. Bryan Bastin is here. He runs the Renegade Analytics desk, and he has the numbers that you need to know. I appreciate him so much. Had a couple of days off because he was running logistics instead of analytics, but I've got him right back behind the ROP Analytics desk right now, and he's got one big stat for us from the Columbus Blue Jackets game, and also look ahead at the Boston Bruins. You can find him on Twitter at Bryan Bastin. You can read his work at ontheforecheck.com, and you can see him right here on Renegades of Puck TV. Bryan, take it away.
Obviously, tonight's big story was Philip Forsberg's performance and his 4 goals against the Columbus Blue Jackets in a 6-0 rout tonight at Bridgestone Arena. They also mentioned Mikael Granlund being just the 12th player in NHL history to record 4 primary assists on the same player's goals. And let us not forget about Matt Duchene, who's currently still leading the Nashville Predators in goals. But what has that line done, and how successful have they been so far this season? Well, in the 13 games that they've played together, this line has been more than dominant. First, they're maintaining possession of the puck for most of the game, which they are at 5-on-5. They have a 94-67 advantage in all shot attempts, which is about 58%. The same goes for about the shots on goal, with a 56.7% advantage, which is about 55 shots on goal to 42 while these 3 were on the ice. However, they also have the biggest advantage in goals scored. While on the ice, this trio has seen 10 Nashville goals scored with just 2 against, for a percentage of 83%. Now, how is that line succeeding so well, and how are they scoring at such a high rate? Well, obviously, it's the type of shots they're taking, and they're getting high-quality shots. Nashville, while these 3 are on the ice, have a 65% expected goal advantage, and if you don't want to learn about those fancy stats or what an expected goal is, they have 25 high-danger shot attempts as compared to just 13 from opponents while they are on the ice. This line combination has been deadly since they have all been together in Nashville, and hopefully this line stays together for the foreseeable future. Thanks a lot, Charlie, and back to you.
You can find him on Twitter at Bryan Bastin. You can check out his charts at ontheforecheck.com, and you can see his wonderful face right here on Renegades of Puck TV. Stick taps to Bryan. I sure do appreciate the efforts he's put in and how much he has grown since he has joined me here in the trenches as part of the Renegades of Puck. Also got to mention Perk. Great job, my friend. So much contribution on this particular episode of Renegades of Puck TV, and always so much great contribution online, on Twitter, especially live during games. So Perk, I just want to make sure we mention you. And the Ultimate Predator's been on IR, but I got word that he is getting better. He's on the mend, and he will be back in the trenches soon. So we're looking forward to getting the Ultimate One back in the trenches. And I've been talking to a lot of new potential correspondents. We've been out there. We've been conducting our own interviews. We're bringing people in. So if you know somebody that wants to be part of the show right here, would love to jump in the trenches with me and the Renegades of Puck, well, it's easy. renegadesofpuck@gmail.com. Go ahead and check that out. Send us a message. Let us know. Reach out to us on our social media platforms. Any of that. It's good stuff. Go ahead and get in contact with us. We are looking to cover hockey at all levels. It doesn't matter where it's being played. It doesn't matter how it's being played. You're playing ball hockey in the hallway. We want to know about it. We can feature it right here on Renegades of Puck TV. We have the opportunity. Built by Renegades for Renegades, this operation completely belongs to all of us together. We can grow the sport together, and we can be a force for positivity in the hockey community in a world with so much toxicity. Why wouldn't you want to jump in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck? Stop giving airtime. Stop following. Stop tuning in to the people that don't give a damn about you or the topic that you care about. And start tuning in and start supporting the Renegades of Puck. So many incredible Renegades of Puck out there, and I thank each and every one of you. This has been an incredible episode. One more sponsor I want to thank on the way out the door is Strong Style Fit. A happy and a healthy renegade is the best kind of renegade. So, Strong Style Fit offers 150 different workouts now, on demand at YouTube, totally donation-based. That means it is free for you. A certified personal trainer offering her expertise from beginner to expert level to get you moving, getting you motivated, getting you moving, keeping you healthy. That means you're going to be in the trenches for the long haul. And I need you, Renegades. I need you today, tomorrow. I need you 10 years from now. I need you 50 years from now. Renegades of Puck, jump in the trenches with Strong Style Fit. You can do that by going to strongstylefit.com. You can also go to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you can easily find Strong Style Fit. We are so appreciative of having each and every one of you in the trenches with us today. We're so very proud to be part of the Sobros Network big celebration coming up for the 2021 Spirit of Nashville Awards. Remember, you can vote for us right there for Sports Podcast of the Year. After just 7 weeks on the job, it is incredible to be nominated, to be included, to be a finalist with such other great talents out there. I know many of them. The ones that I don't, I look forward to getting to know you here in the near future. We should be supporting each other in the community. So, reach out. Jump in the trenches with me right here. I'm your host and Captain Crazy Charlie Saunier for MOSTRODAMUS, for Sean C. Smith, for Bryan Bastin, for the Ultimate One, for Perk, for Rebirth Sports, Stripe Digital Solutions, and Strong Style Fit. Stick tabs, love, respect. I'm your host and Captain Crazy Charlie Saunier. Thank you so much for jumping in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck.